Hello, I'm Patrick Gacko, and this is my series Superhuman You, helping you reach your true potential through the power of imagination, music, and more. My goal is really to help people visualize and achieve their career goals using the power of imagination framework. One question that I've been asked quite a bit is, how can someone use the power of imagination to visualize their success? When I think about success, I usually like to take a step back, which is, let me look at the big picture. What does success really mean, right? To me, success implies failure. As a matter of fact, you have to fail a few times in order to be able to be successful, right? Some may even argue that success is failure disguised, right? When I think about my personal successes, whether it's in music and in my personal life, I had to fail a few times in order to be able to get it right. I think about the CPA exam, for instance, right? It's 4 parts to the CPA exam. I passed 3 the first time, and I had to take the last part twice in order for me to be able to be a licensed certified public accountant. And so when I think about that, the power of imagination, what it does help you do is elevate yourself above the concepts of success and failure. And the way it does that, it gives you a purpose, right? And a purpose means you're not attached to a specific outcome. You're not attached to either, oh, I succeed or I fail. You're more attached and you focus more on the process itself. Because the reality is, a lot of times you cannot control a particular outcome. A lot of time you can predict it. You can say, well, if I study hard, right? Same thing with my CPA exam. If I study hard enough, I understand all the concepts, I most likely will succeed in passing. But the reality is, once you sit in front of that exam, you're in front of the computer, and it's time for you to perform, a lot of things can happen. A good story is when I did take my CPA exam and I got to the testing center, they completely messed up my name. And so something that was supposed to be very straightforward became a source of anxiety and completely got me out of sorts for the exam. When I think about success or failure, and I put the concept of purpose in the midst of it, what's very important is that, we understand that we shouldn't be really focusing our energy on what the outcome is. When I think about myself as an example, right, I could say, well, what is my purpose? For most of my life, my purpose had been to escape, right, to really run away from all the circumstances in which I arrived into this world, because these circumstances from a factual and reality standpoint were hurting me, creating anxiety. I was overweight, about 350 pounds. That is not healthy. Developing cardiovascular diseases. And so that was factual. It's not something that I could say it's imaginary, because at the end of the day, it's my life that was hurting. And so I spent a lot of time escaping that. And once I did, I actually had to ask myself the exact same question again. Now that I've escaped it, right? Now that I'm out of these circumstances, what is my purpose, right? And so that's when I said, well, let me think about how I can help others around me that were in the same situation that I was in. How can I develop something, a framework, tools, tips that can help people around me get out of their circumstances the way I did? And that's how the power of imagination was born as well. And so what a purpose gives you is drive and energy. It gives you the ability to think outside the box, because if you focus on the outcome too much, you're going to limit yourself to a particular outcome. As funny as that is, like, let's say I want to be a famous leader. You're probably going to get a book that says how to be a famous leader, and this person has their own view on how you become a famous leader, or how you become an actor, or how you become a singer, how you become I don't know, an accounting professional, and they have laid out this path. Well, first of all, in the example of being an accounting professional, go ahead and get an accounting degree, do this, that, and have this kind of experience. Now, that may be true to them, but there are many ways you can get to that particular outcome. And if you're focused solely on the outcome, well, you're taking away from yourself your ability to imagine something different, because maybe, just maybe, becoming that accountant or that actor isn't really your life purpose. Whereas if you're focusing on your imagination, focusing on your purpose, it could bring a different outcome that you even love even more, right? And so one thing that I like to encourage people is to ask yourself, what is your purpose? I do it all the time. I do it today because, you know what? I was trying to escape for 30-something years. Now that I'm out, I'm trying to figure out what my purpose is. And, and ask yourself, okay, now that I have my purpose, what are decisions am I making? And these decisions, how do they fit my purpose? How do they gel with my purpose? Are they in the same theme as my purpose? And so that will help give your life a sense of direction, which is really, really important and critical in order to achieve that dream that you have within you. I would like to thank you for joining my series, Superhuman You, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have, and I'll see you next time.